Hello, my name's Caleb, and today I'm going to be showing you my ultimate survival kit. This is part one of the two-part video series of this kit. Part one talks about this tin here, and part two about this overall pouch, as well as the flashlight and the pocket knife. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is my ultimate survival tin. It is actually quite a big tin in comparison to some other ones you might have seen before, like the Altoids tin, quite a lot wider, so I'm able to fit a lot more stuff in it. The first thing about this tin is the insulation tape that's wrapped around the edges. This helps keep it watertight because there's a lot of non-waterproof items inside this tin. The other thing about this kit is it's got a signal mirror on the bottom here. It's also reflective, you can see reflection very well. It is a plastic mirror, which is why I've glued it to the bottom of this tin so it doesn't get warped. I would recommend using a glass mirror, they're a lot more reliable. But yeah, let's get into it. The insulation tape is very easy to pull off, and inside it's quite a stiff lid. This is just a cheap tin, by the way. You can get these online for not very much money. That's actually one of the benefits of this kit that I made. This entire thing, including the pouch, it really does not cost a lot of money, which is perfect for your average buyer. Obviously you can get better quality goods in here if you're willing to splash out a bit more, but most of these things I can get around home or at the $2 shop, with just a few exceptions. So yeah, the first item in this kit is the desiccant. This just helps absorb any moisture that gets into the kit to prevent things from getting wet from condensation. This is a backup signal mirror. It's the back of an old CD actually. It's quite a good signal mirror, surprisingly. You can also drill a hole in this and use the V method for signalling. I've also got a keyring in here just in case you need to attach anything to a bag or the other survival pouch. I included this because it's so small. I may as well. This is my quick blade of my own invention. You just slide the blade out and use it as a crafting knife blade, and you can slide it back in. Credit goes to me Zilch on YouTube for his idea. I think he came up with this one. So yeah, go watch his video if you want to see more about it. This is about 1.5 meters of thin wire. There are many uses for this, from making snares to building shelters. Endless ways you can use that. This is 2 Panadol tablets. These will help with some light pain relief or fevers. They won't help with any anti-inflammatory, just for mild pain. This is about 1.5 meters of dental floss wrapped around a paper clip. Dental floss has many survival uses. You can use it for fishing, for sewing, for string, and obviously for dental floss there are hundreds of uses for this. It also goes in conjunction with this fish hook, which has got some insulation tape wrapped around the end to prevent the barb from snagging on anything. This is a straw that has been sealed using a pair of pliers and a lighter. You just clamp the pliers across and use a lighter to seal it. I think I'll make a video of these later on, but this is just stuffed full of cotton wool, enough to make 3 fires actually. This is my space pen. It has insulation tape wrapped around this for grip and also to prevent the end from bending while you're writing. It's also hot glued shut so that it can work underwater. These are 10 matches as a fire starting source. 5 of them are actually waterproof, which means that even if water does get into this kit, you've still got a reliable way of lighting fires. This is my survival whistle. It's red, so you can easily find it if you drop it. It's very loud. I won't give you a demonstration, but it's also got this watertight compartment inside that has 2 pins and a needle in it. And also there is a rolled up $10 note in here. I will not take that out because it's incredibly tight and very hard to get back in just for emergencies. The good thing about having a $10 note or any kind of money on you is that that's enough to buy a substantial meal and some water, so that would be a very useful thing in a survival situation. Next up in here we've got these large tweezers. I've actually got several pairs of tweezers in both kits, and they're incredibly useful. But this can also be used in conjunction with the hacksaw blade in here, and the tweezers can actually be used as a handle, which I'll show you. As you can see here, the tweezers in combination with the rubber band make a very good handle for this hacksaw blade. If you grip it quite tight, it's very good. And moving on, there is about 1.5 meters of insulation tape here, very useful for binding anything together. Once again, you can also use it for preventing wire from being short-circuited and things like that. Yeah, and also in here we've got a universal charger wrapped in a cable tie. This is very useful for charging your phone in a survival situation. Obviously you'd have to have a computer or a power bank to plug this into, but I have included that in this kit. It's the best I can do with the small amount of space that I had. This is a homemade spark wheel. It's just cut down from a lighter actually. There is also a supply of tinder in here in the form of cotton wool. There are many videos you can see on how to make these. Once again, I'd recommend me Zilch. He's got a great comprehensive video on it. But you just spin the wheel and sparks are produced. I'm not sure how well this will show up in the video, but it's very, very good for making fires. We also have another form of making fires, which is this magnifying glass. It's a very great magnifying glass for its size actually. I've been unable to find anything else that's much better. And I've used it to make many fires before. A very reliable source of fire starting. However, you can only use it when it's sunny and there's no clouds. So there are very specific situations you can use this in. I also have a plaster for any minor cuts or grazes. It's not going to help you out a great deal, but it will stop any infections. This is also hypoallergenic, so if you have anyone who's allergic to plasters with you, like I am, then this is very useful. In here there is also a pencil as a backup for the pen, or it could be vice versa. Pencils are great because they can write on almost anything, so a really big necessity for signalling a survival situation. I've also got this Matchbox in here, which acts as a compartment for any other things in the survival kit, and to keep it more tight and compact. As you can see, it's bursting full of things. Of course, a good thing to note is that it's got these two strikers on the sides for the matches. But let's open it up. So inside we have a 40 centimeter by 40 centimeter sheet of aluminium foil. This can be used for many things in a survival situation, from a windshield for a flame, or a bowl to boil water in. You can also boil water in the tin and expand it out with this sheet of aluminium foil. We've also got a thin glue stick, which you can use one of the paper clips inside this tin or a safety pin, and use a match or something to mount it onto things, and you've got instant glue. We've also got a tube full of sodium bicarbonate, which is a very useful resource in a survival situation. It's mostly used for cleaning, it can be used for detergent, can be used for deodorant, soap, anything like that. Very useful. Another one is full of salt, which can be used to flavour food or make a saline solution to prevent infection. We've also got my fire steel rod. I just pulled it out of this thing here, which I just got in a junkie survival kit, which I sort of gutted. So you can easily just pull it out. And I've got the striker inside the kit, just here, which you can just scrape alongside it to produce sparks. Like, I don't know if you can see that on the video, but this is a backup method for producing fire, and as you can see, there are many methods for producing fire in my kit, because it's a really useful survival resource to have fire in any conditions. We've also got 2 tubes of Vaseline. Vaseline or petroleum jelly is incredibly useful in a survival situation. It can be used to, if you sort of impregnate the cotton wool with it, it will create a really long-lasting tinder, which means you can use less of it to start your fires. So this is very useful in a survival situation. We've also got this small backup torch that I made using just a simple circuit. You just press the end and it lights up. You won't be able to see very well in the light, but it's actually quite a bright torch. I'll just get all the light out of it. Now that the light's a bit dimmer, you can see how bright the torch really is. This is a great backup in a situation where you are in the pitch dark. However, it is buried quite deep inside this tin, so it would only be for an emergency. We also have this small plastic bag with 4 Tic Tacs inside. These Tic Tacs can be used as a refresher after a horrible meal like tree bark soup or something really bad. At least you've got a nice Tic Tac to look forward to. There is also a folded up straw in here. This could be used, if you stuff it full of cotton wool, can be used as a makeshift water filter. However, I wouldn't recommend it, and I haven't tried it myself, but I would only use this in an extreme situation. I've also got this heavy-duty needle, which is stopped at the end by a piece of hot glue, and this is sort of like a backup for the one that's in their survival whistle, and I may as well include it because it's so tiny. Here we've got my tiny bit kit, which has got 3 Phillips screwdrivers and 2 flatheads of different sizes. This is very useful. You don't even have to have a drill or any handle. You can even use just your fingers. Of course, you could extend the handle once again with the tweezers and the insulation tape, but these work fine by themselves. So that's what's contained inside the small matches compartment in my survival kit, and I'll move on to the rest of the kit. So back here we have this small container that I actually stumbled across in a maths kit that I was clearing out. This is used to hold pencil lids, but you can also hold small liquids inside it. However, the main use for this is a backup whistle. If you blow sideways on this lid, you can generate quite a loud piercing whistle sound. However, I wouldn't recommend this in a normal tin because you want a whistle that requires no skill, which is why I've also included this red survival whistle. This is a tampon in this kit, and I know what you're thinking, I'm not a woman, but this tampon is mainly used for fire starting. This contains a great deal of compressed cotton wool, which you can fluff out to make multiple fires, and once again, if you use the Vaseline, you can make a really long-lasting tinder with this, and it also has the added benefit of being in a waterproof container. We've also got a small eraser for the pencil. It's quite small, but it'll do the job just fine. This is also 2 hay fever tablets. This is prescription medicine for me, and I guess you could include any other pills that you need in a survival situation. These are 2 small safety pins. These are mainly for clothing repairs, as they're quite unobtrusive and not really bulky. But there are also 4 other big ones in this kit. And these safety pins have many uses. You could use them for a fish hook if you lose the other one or it's broken. You could use it for sewing. There are many uses for a safety pin, and I'm also apologise for any background noise you might be able to hear. That's just some drilling going on outside. We've also got this small pliers multi-tool that I've got. It's quite thin, and a pair of pliers is always useful in a survival situation. Although I do have a main pliers multi-tool in my other pouch, I thought I'd include this one just in case the two get separated. It also has the added benefit of having 2 screwdriver heads on the end of Phillips and a flathead. So yeah, this works really well. Has a magnetic locking system in here. There's also another pair of tweezers made of a paperclip, actually. Very easy to make and surprisingly good for how easy they are. There's also a razor blade with electrical tape to protect the edge. Once again, this is a backup for the quick blade I've got in here, as well as the 2 knives that I've got in my main pouch. And you can use blades for many different reasons, which is why I've included so many backups. There are also 4 paper clips in here. Paper clips have many uses, from wire to holding things together, to holding paper together. These are a very useful instrument, or the MacGyver super tool as some people call them. There is also my credit card multi-tool. I'm sure you will have seen some of these before if you've seen many survival kit videos. I'll just go a quick run over of some of the features. This has a saw blade, which is pretty short, and I'm not sure how good this is. You kind of want something a bit longer, but it'll do in a pinch. You've got a small blade here, once again not very sharp, but considering how many other blades I've got, it doesn't really matter too much. There's a can open here, which is very useful. I don't have another one of those in these kits, so it's very good. There's a bottle opener, 4 different wrench sizes here, another 2 here. There's a ruler down the side, a flathead screwdriver at the end, and these things, you can actually make a compass in them if you put some water in here and then magnetize the needle and float it in there on some of the cotton wool, for example. You can make a makeshift compass. Last but not least, we have 2 last pieces of note paper, very useful for leaving notes in any situation, or writing notes, or even recording game scores in a dice game. There are many different uses for paper when combined with the pencil and pen. So that's my small survival tin, and this actually contains 72 different items, believe it or not, and a list of them will be down in the description below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. In the next one we'll be looking at this main survival pouch, which includes these 2 on the side as well. But for now, thanks heaps for watching. A like would be greatly appreciated, and if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. My name's Caleb, and that's me. Bye.